Welcome in the world of artificial intelligence under artificial intelligence using Python series of lectures. We are dealing with search methods. Hi, I am Dr. Sunil from GCS Solutions. The contents of this lecture are search methods, that is search algorithms. So in this lecture we'll be studying breadth first search method. We'll see the append function and we'll try to analyze BFS, that is breadth first search. The breadth first search BFS is the search technique which searches the tree level wise and left to right at each level of the tree. We'll try to understand this definition, and moreover the BFS uses queue as a data structure, that is the open list is maintained as a queue to process the given state space. Now we'll first try to understand the definition of breadth first search. Assume that we have been given a graph having 4 nodes A, B, C and D, and having edges like A to B, B to C, A to C, B to D and C to D. So these are the edges. So being an undirected graph, if A is connected to B, B is also connected to A. And we have also been given that the start point is A, that we have to start with A, and we have to reach to the goal D, that is we have to find goal D. Now for this given graph, the state space is like this, that we are having A as the root, as we start with the A, and the immediate successor or child nodes of A are B and C. B has the immediate successor A, C and D. The immediate successors are nothing but the nodes which are directly connected to any given node. For example, for node B, A, C and D are directly connected. So that's why these A, C and D are the child nodes of B, or those nodes are also called as immediate successor of B. Now here C has immediate successor A, B, D. Similarly, D has B and C as the immediate successor, and D is appearing at 2 points in this state space, that is D which is a part of B, that is the child of B, and D which is also child of C. So this way this state space is explored, and breadth first search will try to search level wise. For example, if we start with the root, this is the first level or level 0. Then next is B and C, which are the child node of A. These are at the next level, that is level 1. This ACD and ABD are at the next level to B and C, and this is nothing but level 3. So this way the algorithm BFS explores the state space level wise. And again, the diagrammatic representation of this state space is given to the algorithm in form of some data structure. So here dictionary is data structure, which is key value pair. So A is the key, which is the node, and values are B and C. These B and C are nothing but the child of A or immediate successor of A. This way we have all the nodes like A, B, C and D, and for each of the nodes the list of their immediate successor is maintained. For example, B has immediate successor ACD, C has immediate successor ABD, and D has immediate successor B and C. Now the BFS algorithm has following steps. So we start with the given start node. So we maintain two lists, that is open list and the closed list. And in our case, open list plays the vital role, because uh, the way data is stored in open list, that will decide how the search algorithm proceeds on the given state space. So here close is initially empty. Now we have a state variable which maintains a state of the algorithm, whether we have reached to the goal node or not. If we have reached to the goal node, the state is success, otherwise the state is failure. So initially state is failure. Then we have the while loop, which iterates till one of the two conditions or both the conditions are false. So what are those conditions? Either our open is empty or we have reached the goal state and our state value is success. So if your open is not empty and your state is not a success state, then this while loop iterates. So initially we'll pick the node, front node from the open list, and we'll remove that node which are already picked up from the open, so that remaining nodes will be appearing in the open. So we do here at this step, just focus where I'm pointing here. Now we go for the goal test function. Now goal test function takes the current node and test whether the goal has whether the given node is goal node or not. If it is the goal node, then goal test function returns true. Then your algorithm will be executing the if part of the test condition. If the given node n is not goal node, it will get into the else part, and in else part it will perform these two steps, that is these 5 steps. In if part it performs 2 steps. For example, if goal is reached, then you change the status success, that means the goal has been achieved or the goal node is found, and then whatever node you have found as a goal node, that is append to the closed. Otherwise, in else part you do the same thing, you append the current node to the closed existing closed, and then as the given node is not goal node, you call moveGen function, and this moveGen function will generate the child node of the given node, and this way the childs which are basically returned by moveGen, from that we'll try to open we try to remove whatever is the open, and we'll also try to remove whatever there is in the close, so that we will not face the problem of infinite loop. Then whatever child nodes are generated after removing whatever is in open or close, those remaining child nodes are appended to the open at the end, and this adding the child nodes to the open at the end is nothing but the queue, because anything which is added at the end or the rear is a queue. So this way our open will be working as a queue, and we use this open as a queue. Now let us focus on the sub algorithms. Like goal test function, what it does, it takes the uh, uh, given node and it tries to check whether that node is goal node or not. For example, if we start with A, then goal test function will take n as a and will try to match whether that A is a goal or not. But in our case, goal is D, and as A is not matching D, it returns false. Otherwise, it would have written true. What about moveGen? moveGen function takes any given node. For example, it takes A as the starting node and will try to generate the child node of the A. So it has a list called successor, that is list of successor, and we maintain that list using succ successor variable or list variable. Then whatever node for which we want to find the successor, that node is first tested or checked in the search list S. Now what is search list? It contains all the nodes of the graph, given graph, and for each of these nodes the successor of that particular nodes are maintained as a list. For example, A has B and C as a successor, B has A, C, D. This we already seen. Now moveGen will take a node. For example, if it takes A, then it will search first A in this list S. Now as A is present in the S, so it takes B and C and it generates the successor list and it returns the successor list to the BFS algorithm. So here wherever moveGen is called, that successor list elements will be returned and stored in the child of BFS. What of the append? Append function takes two lists, list 1 and list 2. Now it creates a temporary list, new list. It takes the elements from the first list and to the elements of the first list which are added to new list, it adds all the remaining it adds all the list 2 elements at the end of the list one elements, and thus creating a new temporary list, and it returns the new list to the calling algorithm. In our case it is BFS. Hope you understood this point. Now with this we will try to explore this algorithm and we'll see how this works level wise using Q. Now here is the simulation of this algorithm. So we'll start with the given start node A. So our BFS will start with A. Now initially open has only one node in the list, that is A. Close is empty and state is failure, as we are not yet reached to the goal. Now we'll see whether the open is empty or not. Yes, open is not empty because there is at least one element in the list, that is the start node, and failure is the value of state. So failure is not success, that is also true. Now what it does, it picks the first node from the open. Now what is there in the open? Only one node A. So it picks A, assigns to n. That means we are assuming that our first node n is nothing but the A, that is the given starting node. Then it removes that node. So focus here, this step I am pointing in the algorithm. So this open is taken, and from that whatever is picked, that is the node n, that is removed. So we'll remove from the open the node A. So as there is only one node in the open, so open becomes empty here. Now it checks whether the A is goal node or not. As you know that A is not the goal node, so goal test function will return false, and as this test condition fails, it gets into the else part and will execute these 5 steps. So first it will append to the close the first node which it has picked from the front of the open. Now what is the status of the close? So it takes the close, the current value of the close, which is empty, and whatever we have picked A, that is appended to the end of the close. Then now close has only one node, that is A. Now it calls the move gen. So what is move gen of node A? It is nothing but BC. So see here, it searches the search list S. So as it found A, so it takes B and C as the immediate successor of A, and those are stored in the child list. So here is the child list, and then after that it tries to remove from the child list whatever is in the open. So as open is empty, so there is nothing to remove from child. So BC is the current status of the child. Now it also tries to remove whatever is in the closed, and whatever is there in the closed, so there is only one node in the closed, that is A, and that is removed from the child. Now as A is not present in the child, so child will be B and C. So final child elements will be B and C, and these child elements are appended to the end of the open. Now open is empty at this point of time, see here, and to this empty list BC is added at the end. So what is the final elements in the open? That is BC. So I have maintained here the list. After this first iteration, this BFS will be having in open B and C, two elements, and in closed A, and with this it will iterate to the next step. Hope you understood this. Now in the next step, it starts with the new value of open, wherein B and C are the elements present at time in the open. Now still our state is failure because we have not yet reached to the goal state. So our state variable is not, state variable value is not yet updated. So here both the conditions are true. Like in open, there are B and C two elements, so it is not empty, and our state is failure, so which is not equal to success. As both the conditions are true, while loop will iterate for the next value of open. So it picks the front element of the open. Now what it does, it picks B from the open, which is the front element of the open list, and it removes this B which is picked from the open. So in open it was B and C, and if we remove from the open element B, it has C as the only element left in the open. Now here with this current element B, goal test function is called. Now goal test function will check whether B is goal or not, but you know that B is not the goal because our goal is D. So our goal given goal to be found is D. So this fails, so it returns false. So as this if condition fails, it gets into the else part, and like our earlier iteration, it will take the close list, whereas our close list was having element A, and our new element or new node to be inspected is B, so it is appended and we get this A and B as the new closed. Now the move-gen of B is nothing but the list of the elements which are immediate successor to the B. So to the B, these A, C and D are the immediate successor. In our search list, this element B is searched, that is node B is searched, and as it is present, the immediate successor A, C, D are written by the move-gen and those are stored in the child node. Now in the child node, the elements present in open and closed are removed. So in this child node, ACD is there. So what is there in the open? Node C, that is removed from the child. So what is new child? It is A and D. Now whatever is left in the child, from that the elements present in closed are removed. So what is there in the closed? It is A and B as well. But as there is A present, so that A is removed. And what is left in the child at the end? It is only D. And this D is appended to the existing open list at the end. So here in open there is element C and the only node left in the child is D. So that is appended at the end. So our new open is CD. So what is status up till now? That in closed A and B are the nodes and in open C and D are the nodes. That means if we see here in this diagram where I'm pointing, that up till now we have visited A, we have visited B as well. Now it's time to iterate with the new value of open, that is with C and D. So we'll see this in the next iteration, that how our open now explores the node of the given graph level wise. So we'll see that in the next slide. Let us now see the next iteration. In this iteration, we will see how our algorithm traverse level wise. So we have CD in the open, which is not empty, and our state is also failure. So failure is not success. So both the conditions are true. Now our algorithm will proceed ahead with the next iteration. It picks the node, front node from the open list, which is C, and it removes that from the open as we have already considered that node. And now in open there is only one node, that is D. With this C, it calls goal test function. Goal test checks whether C is the goal or not. As our goal is D and C isn't a goal, it returns false. So this condition fails, it gets into else part. Now in else part, what we have? As usual, whatever we have picked as a current node, that will be appended to the closed list. So in closed there was already A and B, and to this A and B will append C. So this append function will append this current node to A and B, and this way closed will be having A, B and C. That means closed maintains the list of nodes, whatever nodes we have visited up till now. Now in this step, that is next step, a move-gen function will be called. The task of move-gen function is to take the current node, that is C, check whether that node is appearing in the list of success or not. So as C is appearing, it returns A, B, D as the immediate successor of node C, and that will be stored in child. Now we here try to remove the nodes which are already present either in open or closed. Now in open we have D, so that D will be removed from the child, current child, and what left in child is A and B. Now from this A and B, the elements present in closed are also removed. So what is there in closed ABC and what is there in child AB. So this A and B both will be removed from child and child will be empty. Now this empty list will be appended to the existing open. So what is there in existing open? That is D, and to this nothing is to append. So only one node is left in the open. And this way at the end of this iteration what we see that we are having D in the open and in closed it is ABC. So at this point of time it is clear that the algorithm basically traverses level wise. So first it starts with A, next it visits B, and then it visits C. Now if you could recall the state space search, you'll find that at root there was node A. At next level the immediate successor of A were appearing, that is B and C, and after that all the successors of B and C were appearing at the next level. So this way it shows that this algorithm is basically operating level wise. At first level it operates on root, and at next level it operates on the successor of the node A, that is root, and at the next level it will be operating on the successor of B and C. So that we'll see in the next slide. So in this, now we have only one node left in D. So at this point of time we are picking the front of the open node. Now as open is not empty and state is also failure, so both the conditions are true. So while loop iterates, while loop will pick a node, front node from the open. It has only one node and that will be picked and it will be removed. Now at this point of time our open is empty. Now here goal test function will test whether this node D is goal or not. As this node is goal node, it returns true. Now we update the status that we have found the node now. So our state of the algorithm is success, that is we have found the goal node, and we'll append this current node to the closed list so that we'll get the list of nodes which are visited up to this iteration, that is iteration 4. So up to this point we have visited A, B, C and D, and no else part will be executed. Once this is done, what is the next step to be followed? So it will iterate again, and at this point of time there is nothing in D. So list is empty, empty is not empty, false, and also state is success, so success is not success, this is also false. So false and false is false. So this way while loop terminates and the algorithm is also terminated and it returns the status, that is success, to the calling algorithm or calling function. Up to this point we have done the traversals of the given state space. So we have started with A, we visited B, then C and then D. This way the breadth first search maintains the list of nodes in the closed, and at this point of time there is nothing in open and closed has all the nodes visited, that is finding path from source to destination. Hope you have understood this. Let us now analyze the BFS algorithm. Now here we need to do some comparison. What if we have been given this graph and we are being asked to apply both BFS and DFS. So assume for this graph this is the state space. So our state space 1 is representation of this graph ABCD having 5 edges. But we also have been given a state space 2. Now focus here. State space 2 has something like A is connected to B and C, there is path from B to C1, D and E. There is a path from C to F, G and H, and from E there is path to J and K, and from H there is path to L and M. We may have even more number of nodes below this, so we may have some large state space. So in case of DFS, so assume for this small state space, we may get solution either by using DFS or BFS, because if the path followed by DFS is appropriate, that means if it follows, like if it first visits A, then B, and then from B, if it happens to be a node D which is inspected at the next level, then we get the solution either through B or through C. But just imagine the state space like state space 2. If DFS follows path like A, then B, then it follows E, then it will keep going deeper and deeper. It may follow either J or K if E is the current node. Then if K is followed, and what if it is the dead end? That means we have reached to the dead end but without solution. So here DFS going deeper and deeper, if it follows wrong path, it may not give solution at all, even though the solution is available, that is the goal node is D. But as it follows the path from A to B, B to E, E to K, or even J, or even the next level, if the state space is infinite, so it will keep going infinitely without giving solution. So DFS doesn't guarantee the solution. What of BFS? Now BFS explores level wise. So first it will explore all the nodes at level 1. So A will be explored. So at next level it is B and C. So it will explore first B and then C. But you know well, whatever nodes are there as the part of child node of B at next level as well as child node of C at next level, those will form a next level of a tree. Now BFS will explore all these nodes like C1, D, E, F, G and H. And as you know that as it has to explore all these nodes, at one point of time or certain point of time, it will visit this node D, and if D happens to be the solution, it terminates. That means BFS, breadth first search, as it is operating level wise, we are guaranteed to get solution. Like DFS, if it follows wrong path, may not give solution, but BFS, as it follows the right way of exploring each level, it gives guarantee of solution. So BFS does give guarantee of the solution. Even if the state space is infinite, the algorithm still terminates. The BFS also gives a low cost and best solution, as it inspects all the child nodes at each level. For example, if A happens to be the node, for example, just focus on the state space 1. If A happens to be the node, now it inspects B and C, BFS I am talking of. So it inspects B and C. If C happens to be the best choice, it will not choose B, rather it will choose C, and it will follow path A to C and C to D. So it will lead to the goal by following path from A to C and C to D, not from A to B and B to D. So because of this, optimality is achieved using BFS. Time complexity, same. It has the same problem of DFS. It faces the problem of combinatorial explosion, because the worst case complexity is B raised to power D. What is B? B is the branching factor, and what is D? D is the depth of the tree. What if we have been given a large graph? This B raised to power D is nothing but a exponential value. Space complexity. So DFS uses linear space. For example, if DFS starts with A, it will explore B, and will go to D and may even go to the next level, but it follows a linear state space. That means it will explore only limited number of nodes. But what of BFS, breadth first search? It will explore first level all nodes, second level all nodes, third level all nodes. For example, if no solution is at this level, so it will go to the next level, and you know that at each level there are b raised to power d nodes. What is b? B is branching vector. What is d? D is the depth. So at each level, the more the level you are visiting, more is the value of b raised to power d. So that's why the state space is exponential, whereas in case of DFS it is linear. So this is the difference between BFS and DFS. Hope you understood this topic properly. So dear learners, how was the lecture? Please subscribe to the GCS Solutions, like the video if you really like it, share among the friends, and comment for the improvements. So we are GCS Solutions, making technology easy to learn. See you in the next lecture. Till next lecture, be intelligent.